Hi, and welcome to Screens in Focus podcast, where we share and connect as we spotlight our favorite shows and movies. I'm Diana, and today we are talking about The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 6, the finale. Renee is back to join me. Hi, Renee.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
All right, we're going to jump into it because I am dying to know what you thought. So we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, our question of the day. As you know, I struggled with it, Renee. So I thought, what would be a great question of the day? And we had brought up music previously before and how I had liked the music. And I know I've seen you talk about music in your posts. So I think we're both music people.
Yeah.
So I would love to know if you had to pick out a theme song for the season 1 finale, what song would you choose and why?
Well, I didn't think of this until you asked the question. And then my brain was like, oh yeah, what song would be? I mean, I really liked they used a Nine Inch Nails song at the end. I thought that was really cool. And it was just such a good way to end that and everything. But the song that popped into my head when you asked the question was Enemies by Shinedown. Because in there they say, who do you think you are, tearing us all apart? And I just thought those lyrics, it's like, Maggie kind of made all this happen and, tearing everyone apart. So that was just the first one that popped in my head.
I love that pick. And, sometimes you can apply different songs because music is so...
Well, it's all subjective. Everyone kind of does it their own personal take on that. That I can hear a song and it means one thing and you listen and be like, no, I think it means this, and that's why I love music, because it fits for people. Like one song can fit very different scenarios.
Exactly. Sometimes movies too, because sometimes people see a movie or a TV show and they get one feeling out of it and it's another. Actually, at the very end, when we talk about other things that we watched, I will bring something up at that point that just came to my mind right now. But right now, my song, there's just too many out there that I was thinking about because, and I think one of the first songs that I thought about was Centuries by Fall Out Boy, just because of creating this legacy with Negan and Dama wanting Negan to be a representative, and just him revisiting Negan, how we know him to be. So I thought, okay, that could work. I happen to like Billie Eilish a lot, and I thought of Bad Guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
because it's embracing this role of being a villain. And so I thought that was great. And then I didn't realize that I was a Halsey fan until recently, because I just started hearing her music and I thought, oh, that's a great song. That's a great song. That's a great song. And so these are a little bit more moody and rebellious, but I thought of Gasoline or Control for those. And then Imagine Dragons' Believer when that's facing adversity. So
yeah, those are all great. Yeah.
So anyway, friends out there, let us know what you think. If you could pick a song for the season 1 finale of The Walking Dead, Dead City, what would you choose and why? You can reach us on Twitter or Instagram at Screens in Focus. All our social media links are in our website at screensinfocus.com because we want to know what you think. All right. The Walking Dead universe news. It has been confirmed. Season 2, which we were talking in the last podcast.
Yeah.
We hadn't heard, and you had said that you thought it was going to come out at Comic-Con, which it did. So there is going to be a Daryl Dixon season 2, which we knew they were filming.
Yeah.
And there was
confirmation.
Yes, exactly. And then also the same with Dead City. And the name change again with Ricky Michonne.
Which I love it. I love the title. I love the official title, but it's like they've just done so many different things that it's like hard to keep up. But I think it's a great title.
When I first saw it, I thought I really liked Rick and Michonne. I liked that. But then I thought maybe they went this way because they don't know what the future will hold after it. So, which kind of makes me a little bit scared.
Initially when they announced it, they had said it was going to be more than one season. But then since that time, they've made it sound like it's going to be a one and done. So we'll see what actually happens.
Did you think that these 6 episodes of Dead City went by fast?
So fast.
So can you imagine that with Rick and Michonne's or the ones who live?
Especially, well, they had told us we were going to get a trilogy of movies. So this one season is almost a movie if you count, it's movie length and whatever. But it just seems like a lot to wrap up with these 2 characters, especially because everyone's so excited about it. And I think I shared this previously. I've always liked Rick and Michonne, but I just guess there was just so much else going on that it wasn't like, I didn't feel their absence, I guess, so much at the end of The Walking Dead. But then once they were on that final episode of The Walking Dead, the end, I was like, I need them back. It just really was like, I guess, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing, And then when I did see them on the screen again, I was like, I'm ready to see them again. So I feel like they need to do more, but we'll see. I mean, I know, they've got busy lives and it's hard to commit,
Exactly. And I know that that's true. I know that that's true for them. So
especially Denai, she does so much.
Exactly.
Stuff. The woman is just busy all the time.
She is. So that's what I was thinking. More her in TV and film. I'm not really sure what Andrew Lincoln is doing.
Yeah, he's done about, I think, 3 things ish since he's left The Walking Dead. But one was a stage production of the Christmas Carol. He did Bloom, that's on Netflix.
Yes, I saw that.
Or Penguin Bloom, I guess it's called. Yeah. And then he also did an episode of the Cabinet of Curiosities.
Right.
But that's about all he's done. But he was taking the break to focus on his family too before, so maybe now he'll start looking at more things once things start back up again.
Yeah. All right. So that is the news on Rick and Michonne spinoff, The Ones Who Live. What other news did you hear about that came out of Comic-Con?
Well, the Daryl Dixon, that we finally got the full trailer. So that was exciting because they don't always release them right away. And they were like, I was watching people post things that were actually attendees of Comic-Con, and they were like, this just happened. And then it wasn't very long. And those trailers were already on YouTube. So it was really great that we got to see them as quick as we did. But the Daryl Dixon one I thought was outstanding. And I'm finally getting very excited about it.
I haven't seen it, but just hearing you talk about it makes me so excited. So
you didn't see the trailer even?
Well, I did see the trailer. Well, okay. Did I see anything different? I don't know if I can't.
That trailer was a lot longer. Yeah. Because they talked about the little boy and they explained where the nuns, they take on a mission to revive humanity, or the revival of humanity and all that. So that was the full length trailer. We had seen all those little tiny ones. So that was the big, but if people have AMC Plus, the first 10 minutes of episode 1 of Daryl Dixon is available to watch. And it's pretty interesting. So I really it got me so much more excited.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's so interesting. Daryl's just a cool guy, Norman Reedus and Daryl Dixon, because just watching him walk was just his swagger that he has and the way he looks and the way he does things, even in the trailer. I'm like, it makes me want to see it. It's very interesting. He's very captivating. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for them. So
one thing in the trailer I thought was cool was where we saw the explosion, like he's like running from people and there's an explosion. So it looks like that could be like a carrier boat thing, cargo ship kind of thing. And so I'm wondering if that will be, he's on that and then it blows up and then that's how he gets, stranded in the middle on the lifeboat or something. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that plays out.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll revisit this soon. Time goes by so fast. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and then
go ahead.
Also, I don't know if you saw, Ride with Norman Reedus is coming back on the same night. So the season 6 will premiere right after Daryl Dixon's first episode. And this season he'll have Keanu Reeves, Josh Holloway, Johnny Knoxville, and a girl that I'm sorry I can't remember her name right now. I can't remember it, but that's the ones that are announced. So the press release didn't say how many episodes it was, if it was just the 4 or if there were more. But I am so excited about the Keanu Reeves. I have been messaging Norman Reedus for years. You need to have Keanu Reeves on your show.
Oh my gosh.
And they're going to go through Utah is where they filmed their episode. So I'm very excited.
Oh, I am so there. So there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, can't wait for that. So, but right now, let's get to The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 6, the finale. Okay, so emotions run high as Maggie reconnects with Hershel and confronts Negan about their painful past. A surprising lie from Perlie adds tension, while the valuable methane resource becomes a focal point of intrigue. The episode culminates in a dramatic trade-off between Negan and Hershel, leaving Maggie torn between her past and her son's future. Themes of forgiveness and deception and the resilience of parenthood make this finale a gripping and emotionally charged conclusion to the season. So tell me, Renee, overall, what did you think of this episode?
I really liked it. My first watch through, I was a little torn. I was, there's so much to take in. So I rewatched it. And then I was like, this is a really good episode, as I felt like just when you think, okay, somebody's getting a happy ending here. No, nobody did. They're all everywhere. There's like emotions and there's just so much going on, which by the time we watched the finale, we knew that there was a season 2. And so you were at least anticipating that. And so I think they've set things up very nicely for the second season. So I was impressed.
Yeah. I had mixed feelings about it because and it's not that I didn't think it was good. Mm-hmm. It was a great episode. So much happened. I was constantly surprised by everyone's decisions and all the actions, and I was left wanting more. I felt like I felt like they knew they had another season and they didn't have to tie up things, but what if it didn't? This would not have ended well at all. I don't think. I kind of thought that the Croat was going to die, or somebody was going to get really hurt or really injured or something. And I know there was a lot of cliffhangers, but I still think I wanted something that I don't know what that is, but I was still wanting something. And
like closure on something, maybe.
Yeah. The only thing to me that really happened was that Hershel came back home. Yes, we wanted that, but I don't know. There was just
probably because it wasn't a happy ending, or ending to that part.
Yes,
because it wasn't happy for him. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm sure he's happy he's not there anymore. But the outcome, between him and Maggie, it's not good. And so I think maybe we were all hoping for this big happy reunion, and it didn't turn out that way. So that could be part of the letdown, that you were like, so anticipating that, and it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. That, or somebody was sacrificing themselves, or something was near death right before you got that, something like that. So I was expecting that. I mean, knowing that there's a season 2, I'm okay with it. But and if I think, how long are we going to have to wait for this now? Because of the strike and everything else. I mean,
unless the only thing is if they have already started, because they've known this, because the gal that plays Jenny had talked about this months ago, that she was supposed to be filming for season 2 by the end of the year. So they've known for a while. I think they were just saving it for Comic-Con. So maybe they've started writing some of it, but I don't know. It's hard because it's hard to say if they got some of it written before, but I doubt they got far enough to do a whole lot.
Right. So, right. Okay. So what was a highlight for you, or something that surprised you?
So Negan, his reveal that he killed Jenny's father, I thought I didn't expect that, which I guess after thinking, I'm like, man, you should have thought of that. But I just didn't, because he said they were on a farm. But it sounds like she was put there with those people at the farm. But I just didn't even think that, her dad would be one working for, the thing. And so for New Babylon. So that was a really surprise. And the fact, when, I'm sure he what killed her father. But, when he said the debt, you were just a debt I had to pay. That is not how he really felt.
No.
And he, you could see the pain in his eyes. He was, I imagined him thinking of his own son who's growing up without his father right now. And so he was like, I'm going to take care of this girl because she has no one. Mm-hmm. And so, he just said that, of course, to get her to go with Perlie, but yeah, I just thought that was, I guess, just open the episode up like that was really like, whoa. And so I loved it, but it was a tough thing to hear and see her reaction.
It really was. And the fact that she started to talk because she wanted to tell him.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it pushed her that far to where she hadn't talked for how long. We don't know. We have no idea. It could be years. We don't know. And that was, pretty impactful.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I thought that was a good surprise. That's what I was saying. There were so many things that came out of this that we were like, what?
Yeah.
What's happening? So the Dama and her motivation, that was like just everything about her. And it's interesting because when we were leading up to it, we kept thinking, they're putting her at the end. We felt like she was going to be introduced so much earlier, but now it makes sense because now there is a second season and now there is going to be this civil war between New Babylon.
Everyone.
And exactly. And
because she said that there's other communities.
Oh, but they want to gather them as one.
Yeah. So that's going to be, they're going to be battling several entities, with that. So
that's true too. If they can't get them on their side.
Right.
And, she doesn't consider the Croat strong enough to be a leader. And that's the whole reason that she wanted Negan, because she's heard about him and heard about what he had previously done. And so, but she was kind of banking on a lot of knowing who Negan was, since she had no indication except for the Croat, and you could tell that she already thinks did he make this up in his mind, or is this a real person that he knows? So, she, it paid off for her. She, it's on the good end for her. If she had bet her money, she'd be like, okay, I won. I won. But the fact that she revealed that she took Hershel's toe, when I saw that toe, I thought, what is that at first?
I know.
And then they show Hershel with his toe gone as he's drawing in his room. I'm thinking, does Maggie even know his toe is gone?
Yeah,
yet?
I don't think he's told her. I feel like he's just so angry that he's like, whatever, I'm not even telling her,
Yeah.
That was a shock.
Also, I think after the second watch and just reading and listening to other perspectives, I didn't initially realize that she could have Hershel in her clutches. Like she could have him a little bit brainwashed. I don't even know the right word.
Yeah. Well, because it's interesting because, in the comics, Hershel doesn't have a real good ending. I mean, he's there till the end, but he is, he's in a bad way at the end, in his mind, and how he like has walkers as almost like a circus sideshow thing that he takes around, and because walkers are almost gone at that point and things. And so he's at so it's like, wow, are they going to do some kind of comic book Hershel twist here, kind of follow that or something? So it's very interesting.
Yeah. So, and the fact that he drew that picture and Maggie looked very concerned that he drew that picture. And I thought, well, that's bizarre too. She seems like this picture looks like he's admiring her or something. I don't know, but
or does she recognize her?
Yeah, maybe that could be too.
I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I just thought of that, but obviously very concerned.
Yes. And then also another surprise I thought was seeing Perlie go back to New Babylon. I thought he was, again, we thought the Croat was the leader here. We thought that Perlie was the leader here, but it's like, no, they answer to other people that are finally revealed to us. And so I thought, oh, now he's lying to these authorities. What? He's going to get himself into a bind is what I was thinking. Now I feel bad for him because I'm like, they're going to find you out because they're going to find out about Negan. And then how are you going to get your way out of this?
Exactly. Yeah, he's kind of dug a hole for himself. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I guess I didn't assume he was in charge because he said he was new, I think at one time. I'm a new marshal or something. But I didn't know how much of a hierarchy they had. Was it just like another marshal ahead of him or something like that? So yeah, this prefect or whatever they called her, I think is what she was called or something like that. Yeah, so it'll be interesting because she seems like she's very much in charge.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like when she told him to stop laughing and all that, or congratulating him and all that, she, like they started kind of congratulating or cheering for Perlie. She like squashed that very quick. And they were all, very, responsive to her. So yeah, obviously she's in charge.
And that's when she brings up the resource. She goes, tell me about the methane. Yeah. I thought she was going to say like, we know what really happened. I thought, how do you guys know? but
yeah, no. Yeah, I thought now tell me the truth. I was waiting for her to say, now tell me the whole story, the truth or the something. Yeah. Like, who did she have on the inside,
But no, she wanted to know. She wanted the methane. So that's that resource. And that makes so much sense. Everybody's after whatever resource that you have. Reminds me of Waterworld for a moment, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like she was saying, the ethanol, that takes acres and acres of corn to make that. Why would you can use these, you have dead bodies all over the place. So,
Yeah, true. Oh, man. And then, of course, that tension between Negan and Maggie and that whole battle fight between them, that was coming. Yeah. Now, that was really exciting. I don't know if it's exciting because I didn't want it to happen. But, of course, I was on the edge of my seat thinking, what the heck is going to happen here?
I think exciting is a good word to call it, whether you're not necessarily excited to see it, but yet just the whole. Yeah.
What did you think about that? Tell me your thoughts on that.
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I mean, like you said, you knew it was coming eventually. I mean, we saw, I don't know, just like you could just see that building. And, I think once, I think if Maggie would have asked Negan to sacrifice himself for Hershel, he totally would. But the fact that she was forcing him, that I think, is why he was like, why it came to the head like it did and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was such a very well done scene and everything like that. And I'm glad that they made it big like that so that, we've been kind of building to this and not just some little, skirmish, but that it was a real, you're exciting
fight and chase and thrown the things,
the knives.
Yes. All the things that they did. And she actually stabbed him. But he didn't act like he was stabbed. I mean, hopefully it wasn't that bad because he seemed to be bounced back from it. And he threw her off that platform and she went boom down on the ground and he got her a couple times. Now he kept saying, Maggie, come on, trying to stop her because he doesn't want to hurt her. And then I thought, okay, why are you stabbing him? What if he dies? You need him. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So,
but she did kind of stab him up high. Like she, was trying to miss his heart. So maybe she, was like, I'll subdue him this way, but I won't kill him.
But it was because he knew that Ginny was trying to tell him something. And then he could tell by her face that she's like, uh-oh, I gotta get him now and found out.
She was talking all over herself, trying to get Ginny not to say, yeah, I didn't know. And she just showed up. And
yeah, exactly. So, oh my goodness, that was, and then walking across those beams, I thought to myself, okay, Maggie seems to be afraid of heights. How's she going to do with this? Yeah. I was reading, or I heard her somewhere, maybe it was somewhere we all saw. Was it that after show where she was talking about walking on the beams? I think it was on there.
I didn't think
and she said she was kind of afraid and she was having trouble doing it. She said, I just got to do this because people are going to see this. And she just went for it. And I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan said, we did some action. We wanted to be, we've seen, I don't know if he said we've seen Tom Cruise or we've seen Keanu Reeves. So we had to do something.
Yeah.
But he was basically saying his old body can't hold up the way it used to. So he said sometimes we did have to bring in the stunt people because they look better when they fall and when they do things.
Yeah.
So
they're trained in this stuff.
But it was really fun to hear the actors talk about that particular scene and how it worked. And I think Maggie or Lauren said that was like one of her favorite scenes to do.
Oh, I bet.
There's so much emotion, physical action, and just a culmination of all of that. So it was really fun for them. So
yeah, I thought it was outstanding. I thought they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, it was so good. Oh, and also they had that conversation right there at the end where he tells her, okay, I can apologize to you as much as I can. I can say, I'm sorry. I can, give you all these excuses, but nothing is going to change how you're feeling. And then he says, and nothing should. So he understands. But then when she grabbed the knife and held it up to his neck, ready to get him ready to trade, I almost feel like he was just going along with it. Like, I have to go along with this with you. I'm pretending. Yeah. And then I thought to myself, is she pretending too? You never know where they're at, especially with Maggie. You never know where her head is at exactly.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I wasn't sure on that, but I felt like he was very just like, okay, this is what's happening. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get her son back, kind of thing. Yeah. Comply with all this. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, it was a good one. That was a really good scene. Okay. So there, like I mentioned earlier, there was a lot of themes. There was forgiveness and deception and parenthood. Did you see any of those themes in this episode for you?
Deception, I guess I feel like that was the big theme, because everybody was, lying to somebody practically. And so I felt like, that was a definite theme. And then, of course, the parenthood thing, you think about that a lot with Maggie, how she's, it's tough enough trying to raise a teenager, but then to be an apocalypse on top of it.
Yeah.
It's like she said that everything's coming at her or whatever. And so, so I did, definitely saw that. But I think that for me, the deception was the heavy one because it was just everywhere. Everybody's, trying to get somebody to do something for them or or lying because whatever, it's all to benefit themselves kind of thing. And
right.
So, I feel like that was a very heavy theme throughout. And I, like you said, I was very shocked at Perlie because I think he's kind of on an understanding with Negan why he did what he did, now that he heard the story and they kind of bonded and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, he is so much about law and order and so much about the justice and all those things. So I was really surprised that he lied to that group, And so that really shocked me that I thought he, wasn't that kind of guy that would do that,
Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder now. I wondered when we talked previously what his motivation was. I thought, why is he not wavering on taking Negan in? And maybe it's because of them. Maybe they have something on him. Maybe it's his kids. Wait, doesn't he say something about his kids?
She does. Yeah. I felt like that was a direct threat. She was like, so your girls, and she says their names and she goes, now we took care of them while you were gone. And like the way she was, I felt like she was kind of like mirroring how the Dama was about Hershel. Yeah. Like I can still go get it if I need to, but I felt like it was just this subtle, reminder to him that your girls are here,
Yeah.
So you need to do what I tell you. And I feel that that's what it is. That it's his kids.
So that's what's motivating him to do his job. But at the same time, he does have compassion for people and empathy. So he is trying to help Negan. But to say that, I'm wondering if he had said, no, he didn't die, I hurt him or I did something, maybe they would have been like, oh, no, you have to go back and go get him. I don't know.
Well, I think because she was disappointed that she didn't get to put him on display,
Oh,
she wanted to put,
true.
She was like, well, that's unfortunate because then we could have put him on display to, make a point kind of thing or whatever. And so, I feel like she's one that, that's maybe her idea to put those people on display after they get, hung or what all the things they do to them for their punishment.
Yeah. Image just went through my mind when he was coming back home and they showed those walkers hanging. One of them only had half a body. And I thought, am I supposed to know that's somebody, or are that just three people hanging there?
I think he was just looking at it and kind of just, maybe he was almost reevaluating how they do things. Maybe now that he's been inside Manhattan, he sees how bad things are there, and the Croat, and the, and then just kind of some understanding with Negan now, like, oh, sometimes people do things because they, because there is a bad side, he didn't know the other side of that story,
right.
And things. So I don't know. I guess I didn't, if I missed that, if we were supposed to have known who those people were, but I just guess I thought he was just maybe rethinking some things.
No, it could very well be, but because I think, and I don't know for sure, but I think the three people hanging previously had all their bodies, so it looked like a new,
maybe he rotted.
A new body.
Maybe he rotted and fell off.
I could be totally wrong, but that was,
unless, now that you say that, now I am going to go back and watch that, because they killed
the bar
owner, Joan. Yeah, Michelle Hurd's character. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh wow, did they put her up there? Maybe, I don't know.
That's what I was wondering, but it's so hard to tell. I mean, they're just walkers up there.
They're all guts and everything.
But like I said, they made a point to have him view them. So that was a point. Yeah. So maybe it is what you said, or are we supposed to recognize these people? I don't know. But
well, I'll go back and look, and I'll report back.
I always think that they put something in there for us to think about or know.
Yeah, analyze and really dig into it. Yeah. Which we love.
That mean something?
It's got to mean something.
So with these themes, I agree, the forgiveness and the parenthood, to me, I was directly thinking of Maggie and those tying totally hand in hand for her, because she is trying to parent her son in this apocalyptic world, and he's not having it, because we had talked about this too, that he's acting like a teen, and you just kind of want to slap him a little bit. Oh my gosh, when he told her that in the car, I'm pretty sure I got, my tears were welled up.
As a mom, you kind of tear up, because you've probably had a similar conversation with your kids about something, and it just, that was very impactful. I hope we see more of Hershel, because I think that he can do a good job with this. I was really impressed, because we haven't seen a lot of this new Logan Kim. We haven't seen much of him. And so I thought that was a fantastic scene. I thought he did that so well.
So I didn't like his approach toward her and what certain things that he said, because she is a mom and she's trying to take care of him and protect him. And we know everything that she's been through to get here.
Yeah.
But I realize he's his own person. And, he basically said, you're so involved with Negan that you're not paying attention to me or who I am or what I need. So I'm glad he brought it to her attention, but she can't let it eat her anymore. And so I think that my thought is, and I'm probably going ahead here, but my thought is, if she does go back and help him, save him, do something, that sort of releases something in you. And so that doesn't mean that she has to be best friends with him or hang out with him for Sunday dinner, unless she wants to. But if you can just release that so that she can move forward and just not worry about Negan, but move forward with her son, Hershel. So I'm hoping that she can get to that point. But I also do want her to help Negan. Yeah. Because I think that will also be cathartic for her. And so,
and I think that's where it's leading. I mean, I think she will go back to try to help him.
Yeah. So that's what we think is going to happen.
Yeah,
there.
We'll see.
And, and I did want to bring up the Dama and Croat too, because she's using him too. And he has no idea, I don't think, because he thinks they're all chummy. He's second in charge. Yeah. But she's just dismissing him.
Once she found out about Negan, she found the bigger prize and thought, this guy is nothing. But he's so eager to please. It's hard not to allow him to do these things, because he wants to be so helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was interesting that in the vehicle that they have this conversation, the Croat, and tells Negan that it took him a while, but he figured out what he did wrong, meaning torturing and killing that young person, that young kid, young teen. And I thought, wow, it took you that long to figure it out, for one. But two, it was so important to him. Mm-hmm. It was so important to him to figure out what changed in his and Negan's relationship. I almost feel like he's a little kid, like he's a little bit not up to speed on certain things. And it's almost like I don't feel sorry for him, but in a tiny weird way I do, because he's trying so hard to get their approval. Mm-hmm. And so he says, this will never happen again. And I thought, okay, wait, are you saying that in an evil, cunning way? Or are you saying that like, I want you to like me and I want to be with you and align with you? This is what I'm feeling, that I'll never do that again. And then as he's walking Negan to Dama, he says, oh, it's like mom and dad are back together again, or mom and daddy are together, or whatever he says.
He's just got this, he's got this fixation about these father, mother figures in his life. And I thought that was really interesting, because I know Jelko Ivanek had done an interview and said that that the Croat does look to Negan as a father figure, and which we discussed before. And, then to have this like, oh, so that's how he looks at the Dama as well as this parental figure. And so that was very interesting. I don't you're a grown man. What, why do you need all this? Yeah. It must just be some trauma with when he lost his family and all that he had to go through.
Right.
But that was a very interesting conversation. And like you said, why did it take him that long to realize how bad that was? But I feel like he wants to he thinks he's going to mend that relationship with Negan. And even though he can see Negan's not that same person, I still think he thinks he can pull him back to it,
Right. And I do think it's interesting that he lived. And so there must be a purpose for him in the season 2. So I don't know.
Yeah. Because I kind of felt like she would still maybe use him as a leader, but that Negan would be the main, like he still has his purpose for her. She's got jobs for him to do, but that Negan obviously will take that second hand, her right hand kind of spot is what she intends.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. Then I'm thinking the Croat could just be portraying a certain way, and maybe there's something more underneath that we haven't seen yet, because they have been really good on Dead City of springing new things on us in different directions and things going a different way. So we just don't know.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. But I think back to him in that flashback scene, he was still so eager to get Negan's approval. It was like, that was just so important to him to, I know I did this. I didn't follow your rule, but this is why. And look, like I got the information, and stuff. It was just like, he's just so eager to please him. But there could be an underlying, who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Also, one thing that we saw was Maggie giving that dinosaur back to Ginny, and Ginny's there with them. So, it'll be interesting. Is Maggie doing it because of Negan? Does she feel guilty now? Does she feel sorry for Ginny? I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I think because, she promised that she could stay at the Bricks. That was her deal with Negan. You help me, and then I'm going to let Ginny be here. So, I feel like she's just honoring that, because that is what their original deal, even though things went crazy, but that was the original deal, was you come with me, I'll give her a safe place to live.
Right.
So, yeah. And then she's probably thinking, since she just found out that Negan, who she thought was her caregiver, was the one who killed her father, she's going to experience some stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if her and Hershel will team up.
Like bond. Yeah. They bond. They've both been through a lot as children, and they very well could.
Kind of need some allies there,
to
get, young kids. Actually, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. So we'll have to see where that goes. And then it'll be funny, because it'll be like Negan's the dad and Maggie's the mom. I don't know where that will go. All right. We are at the segment and the award goes to. So tell me, Renee, what was your favorite quote, character, or moment?
I liked Negan and Maggie's fight. I just thought that was such a great way to, we knew things were coming to a head. We knew just how things were. We all knew what, it was revealed what her game plan was and wasn't what she said it was and everything. So it was just like this thing that was building and needed to happen. And I just thought, like I said earlier, I just thought they did such a great job with the scene. And, we knew neither one of them would die. It's Maggie and Negan, but at the same time, you kind of like, dang, they're up there really high there. And there's just nothing but walkers underneath them. And, so you do kind of get a little anxious about that. But no, I just thought that was something that needed to happen. And I'm glad that it was like an all out brawl and not just this quick little thing. I really liked how they made it very involved and very, like you said, the physical contact and all that. It wasn't just running away from each other or something. So, yeah. So I just loved that.
I thought that was that I agree. That is probably the best scene. I want to add on to that though. The other thing that I really loved was at the very end, both their faces, half of their faces coming together as one. Mm-hmm. Whoa. I thought, oh, who thought of this? This is a great idea because Negan even says, heck, Maggie, we make a great team. Mm-hmm. Like he feels it. He knows it. I mean, that's kind of crazy that you can say that with somebody who is, they're enemies, and so, but no, they can fight together. They know how to do it. And so, and just seeing them two and having to come together and this whole series being about those two. And now Negan has to figure out his way with the Dama and cause he's not really going to want to bring all of that out. I don't think anyways, that's my thought. Because I had mentioned to you, I felt like he'd sort of been reborn again from his previous ways. So he's really kind of a different person. And so, yes, he has to visit this Negan persona at times, but is that who he really wants to be all the time? I don't think so. Yeah, hopefully he wants to get back to his family at some point. And then Maggie, has to figure things out so that she can create her own family with Hershel and mend, that bridge, that relationship. Yeah, that relationship.
Yeah, and I love that too. Somebody had said how they thought it was really neat. I can't remember who I saw it on Twitter, I believe, that had that their faces together like that was just showing that regardless of everything, they they're always connected with everything that's going on and stuff. And one thing I always think about with them is the more that they are together, the more they realize how much alike they are. Right. And a lot of times when you dislike someone, it's because you see the characteristics in yourself that you don't like in that person. And so I feel like that's a lot of their issues because it's like, I'm just like you and you're just like me. I hate your guts because of all these other things. But at the end of the day, we're very similar, and handle things very similarly, and so I think a lot of it that it's that. So
it is.
Yeah. 100%. But no, I just think they did such a great job. I was really, when they first announced Maggie and Negan, I'm like, what? We got to see more of this, so I'm so glad that it wasn't just the same constant, like we saw, like to me in season 11, it drug on way too long. It was like every time that's all we heard. And so I just felt like Dead City did such a great job of not just rehashing the same thing, so.
It did. Yeah. It did. It was fantastic. All right. Well, I think we've kind of already talked about everything, but do you have any other hopes or predictions for season 2?
I guess I hope we do see more about New Babylon which I think we will, but it's they've introduced these new communities. Let's learn more about them, which, I think we will. I like the adding that, methane into the equation. I think that's very going to make it for a very interesting second season. But yes, I really want to know more. I would love to know more about how it was created because it's a federation of cities, states, that the description says tonight they're trying to, rebuild the world kind of thing. And so like, how big is it with all the communities and, that stuff. So I'd really like to know some more about that. So I hope we do get a lot of that besides all of the other things that we've talked about, that just seeing what's going to happen with the Dama, she wants to take over the island, is that going to be an easy thing or are these other, I mean, there's other fractions like the tribes people. Are they against them because they see how evil they are? You know, and is it going to be more, you know, they're going to be fighting Babylon for the methane. They're going to be fighting these groups to bring them to that, you know, so it could get very interesting.
Okay, as you were talking, it made me think about the whole universe, because there's the CRM and everyone else, because years keep going on. And so it makes me wonder how that plays a part, if at all, right? We don't know if it will or not, but it just, we keep seeing bigger and bigger leaders emerge. So, and what I mean by that is, you know, we thought the Croat here and Perlie here, but then they have people that they look to. Well, do they have other people that they look to as it, you know, goes on up? I don't know. So my hope is that, yes, I agree that I hope we get to see more of New Babylon and the Dama and what happens there. But also what happens between Negan and Maggie, because for me, to me personally, that's what I want to know. And also Hershel and Maggie. I just hope that they can come together and do something to make their lives just a little bit better, easier. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you, Renee, for that conversation on the finale of Dead City. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Checking in just to see if you have any TV or movie recommendations this week.
We are watching Blackbird.
Oh, yes.
Have you watched it?
Yes, it's great.
I forget what episode we're on, but we can't stop. Like, it is so good. And it is just, I love it so much. So that's the one that we've really been focused on, I guess, since we last talked. I just can't say
that's on Apple Plus TV, and that's with Taron Egerton.
Yeah, and
the guy on Cobra Kai. I can't think of his Paul. What's his name? He's got 3 names, I think.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yes,
and then Ray Liotta's in it, and
oh yes,
which he doesn't have a big part, and then Greg Kinnear, which I always like Greg Kinnear, or I mostly like him, but.
It's based on a true story.
It's
good.
I didn't know what to expect. My husband just said, "Hey, let's watch this." I'm like, "Okay, we'll try it." And because I think he had actually watched a couple episodes and then realized that I was going to like it, so he went back with me. But it's really, really good. And so I'm excited to see the conclusion and see what happens next.
I don't think, remembering back, I don't think it's too long, meaning it's not that, it's a limited series and it's not that many episodes. It's enough. It's good enough. But it's not like you have to watch, 24 or 16 or anything like that. So it's not very watchable. Yeah. Oh, great.
We didn't get to the movies to see Oppenheimer. We didn't get to see that because anyway, time got away from us this weekend. So did you get to see it?
Not Oppenheimer, but I did see Barbie.
What did you think?
I mentioned it to you, and you had said, "Are you going to dress up?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Do I do that?" I was wearing pink. The girls were wearing pink. My sons went too, so it was like practically a family affair. My husband opted not to go. He's all, "Not for me, not going." I'm like, "Okay," but we all were so entertained. I loved it so much. It was entertaining. It's funny, it's smart, and it even made me cry. It's not sad. It's not sad, but there is a point, and of course I'm not going to give anything away, but there is a point where America Ferrera gives a monologue, and it hit me. Really. It'll hit any woman, and especially I don't know if especially if she's a mom. You could just be a woman and it's going to hit you. I know for me, being a mom, that is why I was even more affected by what she said. Yeah, it was good.
my daughter went to Orlando with her cousins and they all dressed up and everything. And she got home Sunday afternoon and she still has yet to stop talking about it. She just keeps, telling me things because she's a film student. So she really analyzes stuff. And so she's got some really good insight to it. But yeah, she has just nothing but raves about it. She's just enjoyed it so much. And
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because there was 7 of us that went, right? It's 3 sons, 3 girlfriends. I kept hearing, I would laugh, then one girlfriend would laugh, then the other girlfriend would laugh, and then my son would snicker, and then it would go, different like I could hear it rumble just amongst us, right, as it was going on. So we found different things funny or entertaining. And also my one son, he keeps talking about it too. He says, that was so good. Like, I can't wait to watch it again. And I'm like, it makes me kind of happy that guys can watch it and get value from it and not think, oh man, are you guys bashing, patriarchy or anything like that? Because I don't want to give very much away, but Ken is very important in this too. And Ken has to find his way just like Barbie has to find her way, right? So it's not just all about Barbie. It's also about Ken. And just all the actors in it are phenomenal. They're all so good. My son, one of the things is one of my sons is a graphic artist and digital creator. So he found the colors and the way they film things visually so exciting. And I think that's probably like your daughter too, right? I mean, he's not into film, but he still understands all of that. So it meant something to him to see that. So
that's awesome.
That might be why he enjoyed it too. I love Barbie. I would tell anybody, please go watch it. It was really fun. But I do want to bring up one television series that I just started last night, and it's called Special Ops Lioness. This is on Paramount Plus. It's a Taylor Sheridan vehicle. It's about a real military program that has women involved, because when they would go, to Afghanistan or wherever they went, the men could not frisk the women. So they needed other women to do it. But that scope has widened as to what they do. It started as that, but now they are more involved and it is more military-like. But of course, this is a television show. So the television show is a little bit ramped up as to what they do in the military. Zoe Saldana is one of the main leads, and Nicole Kidman is in this. One of the other leads, I don't know her name, but she is so good. Man, she is so good.
And Marisol Carrera, she was in The Walking Dead as one of the Oceanside members, she has a small part in it too.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's just been really good. 2 episodes have dropped. I think there's going to be 8 episodes. It's on Sunday. It's so great. And I also want to say that Dark Wind season 2, which I totally loved.
Yes.
Season 1, season 2 is back this Sunday. So, or on, on Sundays, I should say. So check that out. That's what I have. All right, Renee, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me again on Dead City. And I hope that you'll come back.
Absolutely. I enjoyed this so much. It's been fun having someone to talk, really talked about this series that's as excited as I am. So I've enjoyed it so much. I appreciate you having me on, and I will love to come back anytime.
Yay. I got you recorded. Oh, thank you. No, it has been such a joy. It's been, you have filled me being able to talk about it with someone. So I'm feeling it, also. So thank you for being here and breaking it all down with me. So, and yes, we're looking forward to the next one. So
yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in. We are grateful you tuned in, and we hope something that we said today resonated with you, gave you a chuckle, some happiness, some positivity, or inspiration. Please subscribe to our website at screensandfocus.com and tell a friend. We would love more members of our TV club. I will be taking a break in August and we'll be back for September, but you can check out my weekly Facebook Lives on what to watch this week. You can find that all at screensandfocus.com. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.